Those white people in Missouri didn't have many slaves. They just had 4 slaves. My mother, myself, another woman, and an old colored man called Uncle Joe.
The slave master, especially when you had only a couple slaves, would have to work right alongside with the slaves as such. And so this made it somewhat different. In the South, you generally hear about overseers or black overseers that they call drivers, but you don't see much of this in Missouri, especially, I mean, in Missouri, even in Callaway County, except for a few large holdings.
I was born in Missouri, Lawrence County, about 14 years before the Civil War, near as I can tell. Our white folks was considered well-to-do. Master didn't have no overseer. He had 2 or 3 small farms, but he seed after the niggas and mules himself. Said he didn't want them drugged round and all bruised up.
Especially had a tremendous impact on slaves' community and family lives. And the reason for this is that most historians will point to the slave family and the slave community and slaves' religious lives as being the thing that really helped slaves to survive their enslavement. And in Missouri, those things were a lot harder to come by in the sense that the average slave was only living on a Missouri farm with a few other slaves, sometimes their own children, perhaps other family members, but not large slave quarter communities with lots of slave cabins and slaves coming home from the field at night and being able to interact with one another and have a very rich community life, a very rich cultural life. Most Missouri slaves did not have that opportunity